What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. I'm a tad bit late on this news, only because I've been trying to cover absolutely everything within Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Season 3 Reloaded. Again, I know not too many people are excited about COD, but I still enjoy playing the game, and I want to, discuss as much as I can because it's like the first year I've actually enjoyed making COD content. So, I was trying to pump that out. But regardless, I still want to get this video together because I don't want people to fall for the crap that EA is trying to push out to their audience right now. If I could tell you one thing, do not listen to anything that EA has to say. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep into this topic, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do that on Kick pretty much daily as well. We won't be live on Sunday, but we will be back in action on Monday. If you guys want to check that out, I have a link to that down in the description of this video. And that stream goes live between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So EA CEO had a little something to say about the next upcoming Battlefield game. As you can see right here from Battlefield Bulletin, EA CEO Andrew Wilson has already seen and played Battlefield's next title through an early build. A few weeks ago, I was visiting with the teams, and I couldn't be more excited about what they showed and what we were able to play. It will be a tremendous live service. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to go ahead and discuss with this overall post here. It might not seem like a lot, it might seem like a little bit, but overall, it's a lot of things that we have to talk about. Guys, please, for the love of God, do not listen to a word that Andrew Wilson is saying here about the next Battlefield game. I know we want to be so hopeful because Battlefield has been in an extremely rough spot. It really has been, I'll be honest, with the whole overall community just suffering more and more and more. I mean, you guys know I used to post tons of Battlefield on this channel, but I haven't touched upon Battlefield in ages, just simply because of how they managed the game. It sucks to be in the community. It's sad too because it's one of the coolest communities. I love the people in the Battlefield community. It just sucks being there because DICE just really, I don't know if they don't care, if they were planning on leaving 2042, whatever it is or was. Every experience was just, it wasn't passionate for the community. And it even goes back to other games like Battlefield 5, for example. Do you know how long it took to get good content within Battlefield 5? Do you know how long it took to get anything within that game to add more variety? And then the first map that they add as DLC is a massive open-scaled tank map. Now, don't get me wrong. Tank players always deserve some love. But Battlefield 5 launched with a tremendous amount of maps that worked perfectly for vehicles. There was no need for the first map to be introduced to be another tank map when we were begging on our knees, begging for an infantry-styled map. And that's what they gave us. And it was only one map, and then we had a long pause again until we got more content. Battlefield, it's in a rough spot. It's in a really rough spot, and like I said, time and time again in the past, they have proven that they just make it really rough for the community to want to actually enjoy the game over, a course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, because after the first month, it just slowly starts getting crapped on because they won't support the games. So trust me, I completely understand where people are coming from, where they say that they want this game to be outstanding, and they're really craving something good here, and they want to believe the words of Andrew Wilson here when he says that this game is going to be phenomenal. But like I said previously, we've been proven time and time again that words don't mean anything when it comes to EA at all. Literally nothing. The only thing that matters is action. And I do want to state that Battlefield 2042 is in a much better spot right now, but first and foremost, it took years for it to get to that point. And secondly, it's still, even in its better form, is still not a good styled Battlefield game. It's still massively off the mark. It might be playable, it might be, enjoyable because it's the only cross-play Battlefield game to play, but down to the core, it is just not what Battlefield is supposed to be. And they tried to do something good for the community. They showed that they cared, which is a good thing. To see that the developers actually care about what we have to say is good, but we still need a good product as well. We need a good product. So when the CEO comes out and says he's extremely excited about what they showcased to him and what he was able to play, it's all just fluff. And keep it that way. Keep that mindset. Do not let it ever change. Even when the trailers come out and they have outstanding visuals and it looks phenomenal, you can't fall for the hype. You remember Battlefield 2042? Do you remember the trailers they released for that game? How they really were trying to tap into your nostalgia for the classics? They knew what they were doing. The CEO coming out saying that the game is way ahead of schedule. What's different from then when he's claiming it's way ahead of schedule to what he's claiming right now, saying he's extremely excited about what they showed him and what he's playing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have proven to us that they always feed the community fluff, so we have to keep it that way until we actually get gameplay, until we can actually try and enjoy the title. That's it. That's all we have to do. That's all we need to do. Because the second that we lose sight, they will get us again. And they will finesse us out of all of our money. And I do not want to see us go through that again. I do not want to see another Battlefield 2042. Okay? This time around, I feel like the community is going to be a lot smarter. They're going to be a lot more aware, alert, and they're not going to fall for all this BS that the CEO and all these other people are trying to feed their communities. And one last thing I want to touch upon, the live service. I know a lot of people are a little shocked about this and salty, but I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know what anybody expected. Guys, we are in the day and age where pretty much any PvP game is going to be live service. It just is what it is. Of course, other games might release that will not be live service, but more than likely, they will never be massive online games because that's just the direction all these publishers and developers are taking now. Live service is exactly what the future is going to be. I hate it. I hate it. You guys know me. In my personal opinion, I think it's stupid and it's just an excuse for the developers to be able to launch games that are unfinished and claim they're going to fix it as time goes on because it's live service instead of actually launching the game. And if it's bad, it's bad. And if it's good, it's good. But every single game you could possibly think of is doing this. Every single game. So to believe that Battlefield, the next one, was going to magically not be a live service game, I don't know what to tell you. That is just simply not the reality of things anymore. It is going to be live service. But what I will say is that it can be done correctly. They can 1010% do live service correctly. They already had a pretty decent system in place. I've praised it multiple different times, saying how their weekly challenges are phenomenal, allowing you to gain XP, to grind through the battle pass faster. It gives you an incentive to actually want to hop on. All it really needs is just a little tweaking, a little love. That's literally all it needs. And it could really be on top of its A game. Allowing people to dive into previous battle passes would be a phenomenal addition so you never miss out on content. I think they actually add it in ways, too, to gain some of this content later on in the game, but I don't really remember exactly. Maybe adding in stuff like Modern Warfare 3, where you get different, parts and skins on a weekly basis. Through challenges, of course. Maps. We need content. They actually have to drop content for us in a Battlefield game. For once in our lives, we need content and a good variety of it as well. Not just strictly tank maps or not just strictly infantry maps. We need variety for everybody to enjoy. If they could just add upon live service in that way, I think that we would be able to get a really good, solid game with live service, of course. But again, I say don't get salty over that aspect. Right now, just keep your vision on, is the game going to be good or not good? And don't let live service really mess with your opinion of that because, again, we have to keep in mind that's never going away. I hate to say it, but it is never going away. And if it does go away sometime in the future, it has to be because it became illegal or something. And it's a law implemented that is going to not allow them to be able to do this because it's the perfect, cash cow for any publisher to go ahead and follow because it literally allows them to release broken games and fix them over time with the excuse that it's live service. It sucks. It really does suck, but we just have to work with what we got in this time right now, this time period that we're living in when it comes to games. Regardless, like I said, bouncing back to the real priority here from us, please do not overhype the next Battlefield game. Please. I know they're going to put out tons of information that looks phenomenal. They're going to have tons of leaks that will probably look good. And I guarantee they're going to have tons of things that they're going to be revealing that will really bait in the community. Like probably the traditional class system and stuff of that sorts. They are probably going to really ram that one to the community to make us hype, right? But we have to maintain ourselves. We have to control ourselves until the game drops, until we get hands on, and we can really truthfully try out the product and see if it's a good game or if it's a bad game. But until then, keep a level head. And hopefully EA please stop spewing out this BS. Please stop trying to false hype up anybody. Like, I understand this is typical for a lot of these massive corporations, and it's almost mandatory for them because, they want to look good. They want the games to look good. But honestly, it's only making you look worse. If you actually backed up 2042 after the claims that you had, yeah, people will be looking at this stuff and they will be getting really hype. But honestly, people are looking at this and they're saying, wow, again, they're really going to pull this one over on the community again. It's not the right move to do, EA. It's honestly the stupidest move to do. You should not be speaking anything. This should be absolute radio silence. If there's anything new that's coming out for the game, leaks, information, whatever, yeah, go ahead and splurge that to the community if you want. But when it comes down to if the game is, in a good spot or not, just keep your mouth shut and just prove it with an actual good product. That's it. That's the only way you'll be able to win over your player base, and it's the only way you're going to be able to, have a good relationship with them, because the more stuff that you spew out like this, the less and less they're going to trust you overall. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, go down in the comment section, leave your opinions down below. Do you think the next Battlefield game is going to be phenomenal, or do you think it's just going to be kind of, average? I don't know. Personally, I'm excited to see what they have in store, because Battlefield 2042 was so freaking bad to the point where it almost seems that it's impossible for them to do anything worse. But if there's one thing that Activision has taught me over all these years of gaming, it's that these corporations can always do something worse. Even when you think you're rock bottom, they can always pull another rug and show you that it goes further and further down. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. It posts daily here to 8 in the morning Eastern time. And like I said earlier, if you guys want to catch my live stream, I'll be live again on Monday, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And you guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.